We arrive at this hotel.
We were waiting in the lobby zone, and 4 Australian guys come up to us like, "Hello, mate."
Loud, confident Australian men started a conversation with Dan and Phil.
We're looking to make some friends over here.
What are you guys doing later? Do you want to join us for some dinner?
No! For anyone else, this story would be like, "Oh, that was nice." For us...
then I met some lovely Australians, lifelong friends, went to their wedding, they taught me to surf, I'm cool now. For Dan and Phil, diplomatic incident. What Dan and Phil will never do is stand confidently in our personalities and go, "Oh, you know what? We just want to have a quiet night.
No.
But thank you so much, that's really kind." Instead,
I said we're meeting someone for a business meeting. Who's there?
Who's in there fucking...
Who's there?
Feels like we've got to do a Zoom.
Get some room service.
So we order a club sandwich. Classic choice, first day of a holiday.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing controversial about toast. The next morning, you were a bit weird.
I was
Phil.
a bit pale, clammy, sweaty.
I asked you point blank,
Yeah.
I did, like, "Are you okay, brother? You seem a bit green."
And I was like, I'm feeling a bit jet lagged. I'm just gonna take it easy this morning. Everything's fine.
And I bought it. Where we were staying was on a beach, and the hotel said, "Okay, here's some cool stuff that you can do here. One of the things is the sea pontoon experience. You're a bit quiet because of your, we get on a boat and we start heading over there."
That's what I told Dan, that last night I might have felt a little bit ill in the night. By little, I mean a lot. I really went through it between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m.
And I was like, "Okay, well, sorry, buddy, but we are on our way to the pontoon experience."
Yeah.
So here we are. We get dropped off. And the thing is, they kind of just abandon you in the middle of the sea. They give us our little picnic basket, a couple of drinks. They go, "Here's a snorkel. See you later, buddy." Off they fuck back to the hotel.
Toot toot.
There's Dan and Phil bobbing in the sea. And I will be honest, we had another bit of an antisocial moment because the hotel had 2 sea pontoons. There were other hotel guests. And it was a disgusting, beautiful couple. What I assume is a crypto bro and his influencer girlfriend.
Chad and Luann.
Firstly, from an anthropological perspective, fascinating to watch these people on holiday because he's probably thinking, "I've grinded all my life, I've scammed, I'm on this holiday with my hot girlfriend." And then the girlfriend's like, "You're here just to take content for my social media all week." But then I start to get the feeling,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is these waves, are they a bit intense? Because I'm feeling a bit queasy.
But you're normally fine on a boat.
I'm normally fine. Phil's like, "See you later, buddy. I'm going to get in these fish." And then things went south. I went from 0 to 100 real quick, and I had a bit of a Squirtle-used hydro pump. I completely inverted off the side of the pontoon. I had a moment where I just went, no, oh my god. And I just went up and I went, "Phil!" Phil's on the other side of the pontoon going...
And do you know, all I hear is, "Get out of the sea! Get out of the sea!"
"Phil, get out of the sea!"
I thought
You
there
were
was
like,
a
"What?
frickin'
What?"
shark.
I'm like, "You don't get out of the sea
Even
now."
Chad and frickin' Luann were like, "What's going
Get
on?"
on. They're like, "What's this ruckus over there? Get on the pontoon!" And I
Yes.
just say, "Phil, trust me. You cannot look over this side of the pontoon, okay?"
Yes.
Because there's been some dissemination. And let's just say the background for these influencers' photos has now become a very disturbing landscape.
Luann!
And the fish.
Did they like it?
No! It was so fucked up. And so this is the moment where Phil has a lightning bolt where he's like, "Oh, maybe it is time to communicate with Dan." And he decides, we've clearly both got food poisoning.
Yeah, club sandwich was a club badwich.
So then it became apparent to me very, very urgently that I had a risk at the other end.
I'd been clenching all day.
Why did you agree to go on the pontoon?
Because I paid $50 for it.
Oh my god, but Phil...
Each!
We were stranded on the fucking wooden board from the Titanic.
Yes.
So we were like, what do we do?
What do we do?
Swim a mile back to
Neither
shore?
of us want to eat the picnic either. That's just sitting
Oh
there.
my god, no, that's getting nice and warm. I just cold called the front desk of the hotel from my mobile phone, and this lady picks up, "Hello, it's Dan Howell. It's Dan Howell."
Do you know what he
from
said?
Room 502. What?
We need to get off the sea. We need to get off the sea.
We need to get off the sea. What do you mean? We are on the pontoon in this. I am calling you from the sea
Get
right
off the
now.
sea.
Sir,
Right now.
You've still got 90 minutes left of your pontoon experience. We have to come back right now. And from that point, full body clench. I've never been more locked in my entire life. We survived the journey back, but that boat journey, I was going.
That was rough for me.
I was fighting for my
It
life.
was swelling.
We get back to the room. The hotel was like, we're sending a doctor. Knock, knock, knock. I got a care package for you. I've got fiber pills and some electrolytes and a free bowl of bananas.
Oh, we got
and I'm
free
like,
bananas.
oh, at
It
this
was
point.
so awkward as well. They got 3 people from the hotel experience team just stood in the room.
There was like Miss Pontoon
Yeah.
and the doctor
And the
and the
manager.
front desk person. Where we're all like, are you guys okay?
We probably thought we were going to make a video about it or something. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the rest of that day, 24 hours of hell. So I didn't sleep on the flight, and I sure as hell didn't sleep the next night.
Woo.
So when I got that next morning, I was like, I want to speak to the manager.
Karen Dan activated.
And then Phil was like, you're gonna confront
I
people?
just- this kind of thing stresses me out so much, so I role-played this plan, the multiple things they could say.
Phil wrote, hey Dan, this is an agenda. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. Like flowchart. In the event that they say this, you should do that. You
Yes.
should do it with this attitude. And I think you should wear this shirt. Like, you should put your shoes on with socks. Flip-flops, they're not going to take you seriously. Let's go. And Phil goes, what do you mean? No, sorry, just you.
We?
You're sending me by myself?
I'm not doing this. This is your thing.
Phil was like, here's the plan, and off you go. Good luck. I'm just
Bye.
going to pretend this didn't happen. I'm going to wear AirPods while you're away.
Yeah, I just stared at a wall and shook until you came back.
Very kindly, there was like, you don't have to pay for the pontoon, the picnic, the club sandwich, which is fair enough.
fair enough.
Hello. The one other thing that we wanted to do on this trip was experience diving for the first time.
Scuba Dan and
Because
Phil.
we've never done it. So we got our hopes up.
Swim.
And then Phil was like, uh-oh, no, according to Google, which is probably lying because it's all AI now, you can't go diving after having food poisoning.
It's a risk.
It's a risk.
For many reasons. Can we call this Why Dan and Phil Nearly Died? Do you think it qualifies that title?
In 100 different ways.
Yes.
Diving, golf carts, social interaction.
Ass squeeze. In conclusion, danger is everywhere and you should never leave the house.
That is not the conclusion.
Oh, what's the conclusion?